All right, so Luka Doncic, they had a game against Pelicans. They had another doubleheader. They smacked the Pelicans a couple of days ago. I mean, uh, Luka had 30. He shot the ball well. Didn't even play the fourth quarter. That's how bad it was beating them. Same with Kyrie. Had 35. Shot the ball well. Didn't even play the fourth. Right. They beat the brakes off them. Right. And it was exciting because Luka was playing off the ball more. He was making cuts to the basket. He was posting up. He was moving without the ball. It was a team effort. And Kyrie talked about staying consistent in doing it. Like, he talked about the pace they played with, and he raved about the offense, and they was trying to upgrade from the Luka system to a more sophisticated style of offense where Luka can get his shots off the ball as well, where he's not so ball dominant, right? And I'm thinking, I did a video. I'm like, man, this is it right here. Maybe they can see the light. But Kyrie knew, like I should have known, that ball dominance and that Luka style or that Harden style or that Westbrook style, it is the most powerful drug in the NBA. Like, it's literally a drug. You cannot come off of it easily. You gotta, I mean, they be having withdrawal symptoms, man. Like, playing like that so long and recording so many stats, it's kind of hard to go away from that, because then that attention that you was getting kind of go away too. Like, imagine how Luka felt. Well, Kyrie had 35 and he had 30, and all of those amazing shots that Luka make when he go off for 35, 40 points, and when he's ball dominant, he's just out there doing whatever he wants to do with the ball, taking any shot he wants. He's got the ball every time down court unless he decides, all right, it's your turn, Kyrie. Right? So that's a powerful drug, powerful influence to play under, right? So one game of not doing it probably was too much for Luka. So he comes out, and I guess he was trying to do a little bit too much, or maybe the New Orleans Pelicans had his number, man. But this dude had 6 turnovers in the first quarter. 6 turnovers in the first quarter. He had 8 overall. Didn't play the fourth quarter. He could have very well easily, if he could have kept playing, if they were still playing in the fourth quarter, he could have had 12 turnovers. It was ugly. I mean, they was taking the ball from left and right. He throwing bad passes out of double teams. It was just ugly, man. Ugly. And he shot horrible. Kyrie didn't shoot well either. The team didn't play that well. And this is what happens when things don't go your way with this style of offense. Is a single point of failure. If we run this style of offense, it's got to click for us to win. If it don't click, and the crazy thing about it, even early in the season, some of those wins that they had, I know at least 3 of them took a fourth quarter miracle from Luka. The one where he hit 4 threes in a row, and one of them was on the buzzer. He threw one-handed while falling out of bounds, and it hit the glass and went in. Like, he needed every last one of those threes to pull off that win. And that was against, I think, the Spurs. Not even a good team, right? Then they played somebody else that wasn't good, and he needed another fourth quarter heroics, throwing threes out. I'm like, man, those threes are not going to fall all season. What happens when the threes don't fall, right? Because at that point, Grant Williams couldn't miss. Tim Hardaway couldn't miss. Luka couldn't miss. Kyrie was the only one that was a little off from 3 in those games. But the threes was falling. It was unreal. I mean, I think Tim was shooting probably 10 a game. Luka was shooting 10 a game. Grant was shooting probably 6 a game. It was unreal. So when I did all these videos and I'm talking about, man, they got to change their offense, man. It's not sustainable. They got to change it. It's a better way they can play. Luka got to come off the ball. If he's going to be the primary scorer, bring him off the ball. You got a point guard in the house, and Kyrie, let him run point. Just because you think Luka is the best at running the point don't mean he got to do it. Michael Jordan was the best at running the point in Chicago Bulls, and Phil Jackson still said, I'm implementing my triangle offense, and you're not the point guard anymore. You're coming off the ball. Michael Jordan didn't want to do it. Like I said, it's a powerful drug. It's a powerful influence to be the primary distributor, point guard, and primary scorer in the offense. Man, you could do so much. You could do everything. Who don't want to play like that? right? It's a powerful influence but for you got to be very mature to come off of it, and then you have to be even more disciplined to say, all right, let me develop off-ball skills, which is this next step for Luka. He had to develop off-ball skills to get to the next level of superstardom, the level that Kyrie, Kobe, Kevin Durant, even now LeBron now. That's why I used to have Kevin Durant so far above LeBron, because without the ball, LeBron, he's not not now. He used to not be as effective as he was with the ball. So the next everybody, that's the first level of things you learn how to do when you're a great player. You learn how to do all of the things with the ball. I can get a bucket. I know how to get a bucket. You give me the ball, I can get you a bucket. That's great. That's a great player. If you look at any year in the league, you got the top 10 players, all 10 of them. If you give me the ball, I can go get a bucket. That's how good I am. And I'm out if you're on the wing, especially the wing players, but even in the post, if I throw the ball in the mid post, high post, low post to Jokic, Embiid, or Tim Duncan, or Bosh, or somebody like that, they can get a bucket. So it even works for post players. But mainly the wings. If you give me the ball, I got it. Either I'm going to be faster than the guy, 99% of the guys like Iverson or LeBron, or I'm going to be fast and strong and you can't stop me from getting to the hole, or I'm so skilled with my handle and my shooting that it don't matter if I'm faster than you or not. You got to come on me so close to stop me from shooting, and that's when I get my advantage with my skill set and my pivot and my footwork, and get past you with one or two dribbles or less, and then we get to the rim or get to a spot and rise up, right? So every player in the top 10 already got that part down. You give me the ball, I can score. And I can score so well. If you give me the ball, they got to bring a double. And if they bring a double, now we can start our offense with the first pass to the open player and the rotations, whatever case may be, right? So that's basketball. That's basketball 101. You give me the ball, I can do my thing. But the growth of a player is when they graduate to, all right, now if you don't give me the ball, can I still equally be as dangerous? And that's the level Luka got to get to. Because when they took the ball out of Michael Jordan's hand, he was like, well, guess what? Even if you don't give me the ball, we run an offense that does two things. That makes my co-star more dangerous now, because now my co-star got the ball. And even though I'm better than my co-star is still great. So he can score on his man with the ball. But when is he going to have an opportunity to do that if I always got the ball? Right? So I developed my off-ball skills so my co-star can star in his role, and I can star in my role. Luka's trying to star in everybody's role. He's trying to star in every role. He's saying, well, I can do this better than you, so I'm going to star in that role, but I can also do that better than you, so I'm going to do that as well. And then I can do that better than you, so I'm going to do that as well. And then y'all just stand by and watch, and if I pass you the ball, be ready. That's not championship basketball. So when I brought all this stuff up, all his fans was in my comment section, and all they could say was, well, after 3 games, we got the top rated offense in the league. Okay, cool. Oh, well, after 4 games, we got the number 3 rated offense in the league. After 5 games, we still top 3, and they're still top 3 offensively, right? So, okay, cool. You know what that means? And you can bring up any example of teams who had great offense, because offensive rating, all they doing is taking how many points you scored and calculating it off of how many possessions you had. There's your offensive rating. Oh, great. How many points you scored. So if I put up a lot of points, my offensive rating gonna be high, right? And when you're hot from 3, like the Mavs were, yeah. But last year we had something like this, very similar. We had this is before the Kyrie trade. We had a stretch where the Mavs went 7 straight. They won 7 straight. They couldn't miss. And then when they started missing, they dropped below 500 out of the playoff picture and needing to make a trade, right? And that's how they got Kyrie, right? And then Luka got hurt, because when Kyrie got here, he played like 5 games without Luka. So what the hell was going to happen if they didn't make that trade when you plan an offense that don't exist without Luka? Like we're going to install an offense that the only way this works is with Luka. So when you do that, that's a single point of failure that you're creating, which means that when he goes to the bench, we're going to struggle because what offense we're going to run, if we're running the Luka system, keyword Luka, if we're running the Luka system, when he goes to the bench, what offense are we running in? Do we have a totally different offense for when Luka sits down? Or am I expecting someone not named Luka to run the Luka offense? Now, if you got a clone of Luka, if you got a twin that play exactly like him, you can stagger their minutes, put one Luka on the bench while one's in the game and do that, and you can always run Luka-Ball. But if you're going to install an offense that says this doesn't work without Luka, that means you're going to struggle when he goes to the bench. And if he missed any games for injury, you're definitely going to struggle. Or you're going to have two different offenses. And if you got two of something that you're supposed to have one of, then that means you don't have an offense at all. Right? I mean, that's just how it works. But like if I have to have two locks on my door, that means the first lock ain't good. I gotta have a second one. That means you don't have no lock really. So if I gotta have two offenses, you don't have an offense. If you don't have an offense that can be, this is our offense and that's it, you gotta have two of them, then you don't have an offense. So I hope that's not what they're doing. I hope they're not running Luka-Ball when he's in the game, when he go out of the game. All right, now let's play some real offense. That tells you everything you need to know. And I think that's what they've been doing, because when Kyrie showed up, you could see it. The ball was moving so well when Luka was hurt with Kyrie. And then when Luka came back, they went to Luka-Ball. And they was doing it mix and match. Luka-Ball, when Luka was in, Luka sit down and Kyrie comes in and they run the real offense. You could visibly see it. So let's address this offensive rating thing, because some people think that this offensive rating thing is a good thing. This is great, right? You know, we're ranked number 2, the top. Well, they ranked number 2 offensive rating, rated at 120, behind the Indiana Pacers. Now the Indiana Pacers, which is funny because this parallel is, you know, the Indiana Pacers have Rick Carlisle as their head coach, which was the head coach for Dallas Mavericks. Rick Carlisle won a championship with Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd, Jason Terry, JJ Barea, Caron Butler, Tyson Chandler, while he was in Dallas. They did not run a high screening role, one person. My point guard is my primary scorer and primary facilitator, facilitating for everyone. They did not run that. They ran an offense where they went through Dirk in the post, kind of the same way they go through Jokic. He's in the high post, he's in the low post, mid post, and sometimes he's spotting up as a shooter from 3 or from mid, right? So they went in the post a lot to Dirk, but they also had an element of high screening role where Jason Terry would do his thing with the ball. But they also had an element of other offensive when Kidd got the ball, and then Barrera come off the bench and do his thing. Like it was a beautiful basketball. Everybody was moving. I say all that to say this: Rick Carlisle knows how to coach offense. He's not a one man show type coach, which is the reason why I think he resigned from Dallas, because when they got Luka, I think he wanted to run some real offense, but real quick it turned into one man basketball. And I don't think Rick Carlisle liked coaching that way. And he ended up leaving on his own. I'm out. I'm like, what? Imagine a coach who's a great coach who coached Dirk Nowitzki and won a ring. You're in Dallas. You bought a ring to Dallas and Mark Cuban. You probably could stay as long as you like. That's why Popovich can write his own check in San Antonio and leave when he want to. It don't matter how many. Bill Belichick can probably leave when he want to. Right? When you do something great for an organization, they go love you. So Rick Carlisle could have stayed. You see how they treat Dirk at the games. He still show up like he owned the place. Right? Rick Carlisle, he could be a made man in Dallas. What would make a coach with that type of history, with that organization, get another franchise player in his prime who got potential to be the face of the league? What would make that coach say, I'm gone? What would make a coach walk away from Luka Doncic and say, I can't do it? I cannot do it. And he just resigned. Get me out of here. First thing smoking. Went straight to Indiana. Not that he was tired and he needed a break from coaching. He left, and the next day he was in Indiana. Head coach. Let's make some moves. So they go from running a sophisticated offense with Dirk to one-man show with Luka that lasted 1 or 2 years, and Rick Carlisle said, I can't do it no more, and he left. And then went right to Indiana, and now they're running a great offense like they ran with Dirk Nowitzki. And Tyrese Halliburton is looking good, and whoever else they got out there looking great, right? But it's not one-man show. That team is also number 1 in assists. Team assists. 31 assists a game. That's team assists. Look at the top 10. You don't see Dallas there. But Luka's specialty is assists. So if me making my team a one-man show and you're telling me, oh man, he's so great at passing and you got to put him at point guard, what has been a one-man show doing for you as a whole, as a team? Because you're not in top 10 in assists. Look at the teams that's in the top 10 of assists. They play team-oriented ball. The ball is moving. Everyone can make a play. Everyone can get assists. Do you want 6 people making plays for others, or do you want one person making play for others? Because that's how you get the most team assists. So we're looking at Rick Carlisle, and we're looking at how he really wants to run his offense. He don't like one-man show. So he leaves and he goes someone that's going to let him actually run a real offense. And it's working. Best rated offense in the league. Number 1 in assists. Right? Number 1 in assists. So that's one thing. Then I want you to look right below Dallas at Boston. They're number 3 in rated offense. What is the superstar for Boston have in common with the superstar from Dallas? Not a lot, other than they both score a lot. But guess what? Tatum scores the ball without having it. He's already stepped up. If you give Tatum the ball, he can score on you. That's the first step of being a great player, being able to score on somebody with the ball. But you got to graduate to not having the ball, and can you still be effective with it? And in Dallas, they've had several point guards who handle the ball. Now they got Drew Holiday, so he's going to have the ball. Derek White's going to have the ball. Last year, Marcus Smart had the ball, along with Derek White. Tatum has played alongside Kyrie when Kyrie had the ball. He's playing with point guards. So why does that make them so dangerous? Well, hey, look, they got the number 3 ranked offense by playing team basketball. Right? That's sustainable. Dallas shooting great from 3. It's not going to happen for 82 games plus playoffs. So them being ranked that high in offensive rating, it's probably not going to be sustainable. The Pacers and Boston Celtics, probably so, especially Denver Nuggets and Philly. But Dallas, they're going to level out because they're playing a bad brand of basketball. They're going to have to step it up, and Luka's going to have to step it up individually, right? But here you got Tatum. He plays off the ball. That's the next level. But what else did Tatum do that Luka don't do? Tatum plays first, second, third team, all defensive type defense. And his team is following his example. Look at them. Number 2 rated defense behind the Minnesota Timberwolves. Look in the top 10. Do you see Dallas? So your leader is ball dominant, always got the ball. He's getting assists, but your team is not getting assists. Luka's getting assists, but your team isn't getting assists. Right? Luka don't play defense, and your team don't play defense. But I'm sitting here looking at Boston, who is number 3 offensive rating, number 2 defensive rating. That's a great team. And then their superstar happened to be someone who plays both ends of the floor, and he does it without the ball on the offensive end. That's way more impressive. Way more impressive. Last team I want to show a parallel with, because some people will say Luka Doncic don't have the roster to pull it off. Well, Minnesota, they're the number 1 ranked defense. What's the difference between that superstar and Luka? Well, Edwards does it without the ball, just like Tatum. He's not ball dominant trying to play point guard. He does it without the ball. That's the next step up. And he also plays great defense. He'll make first or second team all defense this year. Great defense. Number 1 ranked defense in the league. How's he doing it? Well, he got a 7'4" shot blocker in Rudy Gobert. Cat is not that much of a defender, but he's 6'11". He at least got height. So they come out there with 7'4", 6'11". So you got a rim protector and you got a power forward that's a true power forward. Then you got Edwards himself is a great defender. Then you got a small guy, Mike Conley, not known for being a defender, right? And then you got another small forward like McDaniels. He's a good player, but they don't have world beaters. It's not like they're coming out there with Pippen, Jordan, and Rodman, and Gobert at the rim. They're not coming out there with that. So people go like, oh man, well Luka don't have that. Well, Luka could have had it. He had JaVale McGee last year, a rim protector that blocks shots just as well as Rudy Gobert does. Why couldn't he get on the floor with Luka? Oh, because the offense they run requires that no one be in the paint so they can actually run it. The paint has to be wide open. You can't put Rudy Gobert at the 3-point line or JaVale McGee. So JaVale McGee got to sit on the bench. He can't play with Luka. So it don't matter what shot blocker. You're looking for perfect players just so you can run Luka's system with Luka at the point guard. The system you're trying to run, every problem that exists for the Dallas Mavericks, all roads lead to the offense you're trying to run. I can't have I need a rim protector. We're not playing defense well. We're not blocking shots at the rim, but I can't put a rim protector on the floor because he don't mesh with Luka's offense. So they knew they needed JaVale McGee, so they signed him, but they couldn't play him because they couldn't get Luka out of their offensive play style. So that was a waste, right? Then, all right, well, what about a shooter at power forward like Karl Anthony Towns? Well, you had Porzingis. Porzingis shoot like that. As a matter of fact, he's blocking shots for you right now in Boston. And they number 2 rated defense. Porzingis out there blocking shots, posting up and hitting threes and taking his man to the cup from the mid. He's letting his whole game flourish. Couldn't even see that game in Dallas. Only thing we could see from Porzingis is catch and shoot threes when after Luka dribbled it for 13 seconds. So you had Porzingis and McGee last year. So you could have actually put this same exact lineup on the floor last year with Christian Woods coming off the bench. Well, this was year before last. When they had Porzingis, but they had Christian Woods last year. So you could have put this same lineup out there with Christian Woods and JaVale McGee last year with Luka and Kyrie. But Christian Woods couldn't get minutes. And McGee couldn't get minutes. So you had them for nothing. You rather play Maxey Kleber and Powell because they fit high screen and roll, stand at the 3-point line, nobody in the paint. They fit that offense. You see the issue with that? Like Boston don't have world beaters. They got Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. Number 1 ranked defense, rim protecting like a mug. And you had Christian Woods and JaVale McGee. You could have done the exact same thing. And then you had Porzingis the year before that with Bronson. There's no excuse. Your defense sucks because your leader suck on defense. He's not committed enough. And the roster that you're complaining about is only a product of what style of offense y'all want to play. That's the issue. They have their priorities all jacked up. There's the priority list for the Dallas Mavericks. This came out of Jason Kidd's own mouth. when they had that first 2 or 3 games when they played well, and they started asking him about, what's going on with the team, the first thing he was talking about was, look, man, Luka and his MVP race. MVP this, and while we think we can get it, he averaged 30 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists last year, which is crazy numbers. But this year we should be able to get enough wins, and that MVP trophy should be Luka's. That's the first thing he talked about, right? First thing he talked about this summer before the season started. It's Luka's team. Kyrie knows it's Luka's team. If we need Kyrie to go stand in the corner, he's down for it. And if I'm Kyrie, look, man, I was struggling to try to get my contract in Brooklyn. I can't afford to act a nut here in Dallas. They did me a favor. They traded me, got me out of Brooklyn. They about to give me $230 million. Okay, cool. Give me the $200 million. I'll take it. What you need me to do? Well, we need you to, we trying to do this for Luka, man. We want this MVP. We want his stats. You know what I'm saying? We want him to be the face of the league. Okay, cool. Where's winning on that priority list? It's below all the Luka stuff. Luka is up top. Luka's MVP rates, Luka's stats, offensive rating. Those are the most important things. That's what I've been hearing from Mark Cuban, Jason Kidd, and Mavs fans. I've been hearing Luka's stats, MVP race, Luka's the point guard, it's Luka's team, our offensive rating is high, and I haven't been hearing that much about winning, and they're never going to talk about defense. They thought about putting defense on the priority list, but then they crossed it out. This is their priority list. I'm not even joking. This is it. I got this from an inside source. This is their priority list. Number one on the top of the priority list is Luka getting his MVP. That's the number one goal. And you should have seen the game last night against the Pelicans. Their defense was so bad they had to go to a 3-2 zone. And when they went in a 3-2 zone, of course, the guy that's their point guard can't guard point guards. He couldn't even be at the top of the 2-3 zone. They had to put him down low like he was a center. And the funny thing about it is when they rotated the ball, he actually was guarding Valanciunas in the corner at the 3-point line. They swung the ball to Valanciunas, who's a 7-foot center. You would think when Luka went out there to close out on him, Luka could at least stop him from going baseline or going by him to get a layup. It's a 7-foot slow center at that. Luka went and closed out on him. Valanciunas didn't even attack the closeout. He waited for Luka to get out there and get his feet set. And then he triple threaded him and then blew by him and got a dunk. On a 3-2 zone from the corner of the 3-point line. That's not even enough baseline for you to even get that done. All he had to do was try to send him baseline. The help probably would have been there. He would have had to make a pass. And good luck with that big 7-foot center trying to make a pass when I'm leading you to the defense at the rim. That should have been a turnover. Luka went out there and got beat. Lord have mercy, man. I thought about showing the video so y'all could see it because y'all probably won't believe it. But go look up the highlights. I mean, they got 3 or 4 of his defensive woes on the highlights. They're starting to add that in the highlight reel now. Not just offense. They putting Luka's defense on the highlight reel now. Lazy, not committed. And here we got Jason Tatum and Edwards from Minnesota and Boston playing lockdown defense. Even Jalen Brunson. Look at the Knicks. Defensive rate number 3. Look at the Rockets. Dylan them came from Memphis and brought an attitude over there. They on a win streak. I think they won 6 straight. Number 4. Even Denver is up there in the top 10. And you want to get at the MVP? Someone who's all about his numbers and not enough about defense at all? You want to get at the MVP? Number 2 offensive rating. I guess that's what it's all about. There's that priority list. All right. There's the team assist. Do you see him in the top 10? I don't. I see the Pacers up there with Rick Carlisle, their old coach. I wonder why Rick Carlisle couldn't get the Dallas Mavericks to be number one in assists when he was there. Interesting. I wonder why when Westbrook was averaging 13 assists a game and won the MVP and averaged a triple-double, I wonder why his team assist was not in the top 10, just like Luka's. Is it possible that 9 times out of 10, if you got one guy responsible for assisting the whole team, that at the end of the game you're going to have less team assists than a team that's utilizing everyone to share the ball? And if that's the case 9 times out of 10, what would make a competent coach install an offense where he's going to get less team assists but more assists for his star? And what would be the motivation behind it? Why would I purposely put my team behind the 8 ball? I want y'all to think about that, and I want y'all to leave those comments in the comment section. That's exactly what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to let me know. I want to know those answers. And I'll catch y'all on the next